Welcome back to Old School Sports and our Out of the Park Baseball 25 series, Can We Save the Oakland A's? And we are about to begin our 11th season in Oakland. Time flies when we are having fun. And we are about to begin the season against the Texas Rangers. Our A's were actually projected to have a pretty good year this year as far as the preseason predictions. 93 and 69, which would be the third best record in the American League behind just the Orioles and the Blue Jays, if that really materializes. If that does materialize, we would have our second division title with the A's, and we would be in the playoffs for the fifth time in the last 6 seasons. So if that becomes a reality, that would be a pretty successful season here for the A's, who lost several pretty important players through free agency or trade this past offseason. And I have put in bids on the waiver wire, or more accurately, claims on the waiver wire for a few familiar names. We'll find out next episode what happens with those claims. Before we get things started here, take a quick look at the finances for this team. Our scouting and player development budgets are going to have the opportunity to be as high as they've ever been this season, which is positive. And we still have a lot of money available to potentially bring on some contracts as we get closer to the trade deadline. We're also in a situation where we've got 2 supplemental first-round picks. And since we've been making money the last few years, ownership has generally been willing to let us supplement our draft budget with some of the other money that's available. So could be an opportunity for us to pick a player or two who are above slot in terms of their demands in the draft in a few months. But right now, as this year begins, we once again have the smallest budget in all of baseball and the smallest payroll in all of baseball as well. And I mentioned that we'll be finding out what happened with our waiver wire claims in our next episode, and that's because we're going to do something that we've never done in this Oakland A's series through the 10 years that we've completed thus far. And we're going to play out opening day to do something a little bit different. Pretty much created a tradition back in our Buffalo Wings expansion series in OOTP 24, where we played out every opening day as well as some playoff games over time, but not something that we have done in the past with Oakland. So we are going to do it today and see if we can maybe guide our A's to a victory against the defending AL West champion Texas Rangers, the defending American League champion Texas Rangers, and the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers. So they are a team that won 105 games and the World Series a year ago. So although we are projected, at least in that one simulation that was run, to win the AL West this season, certainly have a pretty imposing team in front of us with the Texas Rangers on the schedule here on opening day. And while we're going to have a lot of familiar names in the lineup for Oakland today, 2 new additions. Elliot Bonello, who we traded for early this past offseason, will be making his Oakland debut, hitting number 2 for us and playing right field. And our new everyday shortstop, Andy Toribio, who came up last September, did well in an admittedly small sample size of 10 games and 14 at-bats, is going to be batting number 7th and hopefully giving us somewhat more offense out of that shortstop position than we've typically had over the past few seasons. So we'll see if we can get the season off to a good start against the defending world champions. Certainly not going to be an easy matchup for us here in Texas. And Ben Cudrna on the mound for Texas. Luis Lara, the center fielder, is starting things off for our Oakland Athletics. And Lara grounds out 4-3 to start things off. Bonello now with his first at bat in an Oakland uniform. He pops out to the shortstop. Jake Ortega, one of the top young players in the game, up for us, hitting third now this year. And Ortega grounds out 6-3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Texas. And Jackson Ferris, who we signed to a big extension this past off season, will make his first appearance of the year. Going against Riley Green, 0-2 count to Green. And Ferris with his first strikeout of the season. Now going after Dave Marchand, who flies out to Lara in center field for the second out of the inning. Wyatt Langford, four-time MVP Wyatt Langford, the number 3 hitter for Texas. And Wyatt Langford shows why he is a 4-time MVP, starting the season off with a solo home run to right center field to put the Texas Rangers ahead 1-0. Juan Molina, the cleanup hitter, 2-2 count. And he goes down swinging to end the inning. So a couple of strikeouts for Ferris, but also gave up the home run to Langford. And Texas is ahead of our Oakland A's 1-0. Colt Keith, our cleanup hitter, up, a 1-0 count to Keith. And he gives that one a ride to the outfield, almost the exact same spot where Langford hit his home run. Colt Keith answers back, and it is a 1-1 tie here in the top of the second inning. Brian Ramos, number 5 hitter up, goes down swinging. Bobby Cabral, dangerous home run hitter for us, 2-2 count to Cabral, and he gives that one a ride. A monster shot for Bobby Cabral. So 3 hits in this game, and they are all solo home runs, and Oakland takes a 2-1 lead here in the top of the second. The young shortstop Toribio with his first at-bat of the season. And he goes down swinging, actually goes down looking after a 1-2 count. And at the end of 1.5, Oakland 2, Texas 1, all the runs by the long ball. Actually, that was only the second out of the inning. Sergio Estrada, our second baseman, is up. We have hit 2 home runs this inning. There we go. That's the end of the inning now as Estrada goes down, strikes out. So now we head to the bottom of the second. Ferris on the mound facing off against Kevin King. An 0-2 count to King. And another strikeout for Jackson Ferris. Going after David Ramirez now, the shortstop. And he lines one out to Bonello in right center field, so 2 away. The third baseman, the number 7 hitter, Ryan Ritter, up for Texas. 1-0 count to Ritter. And looks like that's going to be a pop out to right field for the final out of the inning. Estrada, the second baseman, made the play in short right. So heading now to the top of the third inning with a 2-1 lead for Oakland. Our young catcher, Jaden Boakai, once again our starter this year. Hopefully we'll get more offense out of him than we did a year ago. And it looks like he may reach on an error. 0-2 grounder to third. Error by the third baseman, Ritter. And we've got a runner, but a extremely slow and not particularly good base stealing runner on with Boakai. So we will let Luis Lara swing away And facing an 0-2 count, Lara lifts one into left field for the first out of the inning. Elliot Bonello up, 0-2 count to Bonello, and he goes down looking. Well, it looks like it was a swing and a miss. I don't really see the animation of that. Fourth strikeout for Kudra. Jake Ortega now up. Another 0-2 count. And Ortega lines out to second for the final out of the inning. Jackson Ferris, only 19 pitches through the first 2 innings, will be going after PJ Mutsaraitis here. 1-2 count to Mutsaraitis. Grounds it to third. 5-3 for the first out of the inning. Nice throw by Colt Keith. The number 9 hitter, center fielder Sergio Mangiare, up. And he flies out to Lara in center field for the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for Texas with Riley Green, a 1-2 count to Green, and he strikes out. So another good inning from Mr. Ferris, and after 3, Texas trailing the A's 2-1. So heading to the top of the 4th, and Colt Keith, who's already hit 1 home run this year, his first at-bat of the season, 3-1 count to Keith. And he is now 2 for 2 on the young season, stroking a single to right field. So a runner on board here in the top of the 4th for Brian Ramos, 0-2 count to Ramos, who strikes out. Bobby Cabral, who homered his last time up as well, 1-2 count to Cabral with Keith at first, and another strikeout. So 2 away now, the young shortstop Andy Toribio, see if he can come through. 1-2 count to Toribio, and he does deposit a single into center field. So runners on first and second with 2 outs. First hit of the year for Toribio, and Sergio Estrada, the second baseman, now up. 2-2 count to Estrada, and the ball gets away from the catcher. So runners now on second and third, and a full count to Mr. Estrada. And unfortunately, he goes down looking with runners in scoring position. So a good opportunity there for Oakland, but nothing across the plate for Oakland in the top of the 4th. Ferris will be facing 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Texas here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2 count to Marchand, and he goes down. Strikeout number 5 for Jackson Ferris. Wyatt Langford, who hit the solo home run his last time up, counts for the only run and the only hit for Texas, and he strikes out as well. Boakai with a nice job framing the pitch. We talked about needing more offense from Boakai this year, but good to see him contributing on the defensive end as well. Cleanup hitter now, and he lines out to Colt Keith at third. 3 up, 3 down, and the A's still leading 2-1 as we head to the 5th. Boakai, the catcher, number 9 hitter up, 0-1 count to Jaden. And he dumps a single into right field just over the second baseman. 5th hit of the day for the Oakland A's. First hit of the season for Mr. Boakai. So once again, a very slow runner on base for Luis Lara, the leadoff hitter. 1-2 count, and Lara goes down swinging. Strikeout number 8 for the Rangers. Elliot Bonello now up. 2-1 count to Bonello, and he grounds it to second. They get the runner at first, does move the slow Boakai over to second, so runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Jake Ortega, looking for his first hit of the season. And he does not get it. Strikes out. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left on base for Oakland as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Ferris in the low 40s in terms of his pitches, so still chugging along well. He'll be facing 5, 6, and 7 this inning. Starts off against Kevin King. Grounds it to Colt Keith, 1 away as he makes the throw to Ramos at first. Shortstop David Ramirez now up, a 1-2 count to Ramirez, and he strikes out. Ryan Ritter, the third baseman, now up with 2 outs, a full count to Ritter, and flies out to left field. So still only 1 hit for Texas through the first 5 innings of the game, but only a 2-1 lead for Oakland as Kudra has been really good as well, striking out 9 over 5 innings without a walk. Colt Keith once again leading off an inning for us here. 3-2 count to Keith, and he strikes out. 10th strikeout of the day for the Texas starter. 3-1 count to Brian Ramos. And Ramos draws the first walk of the day for Oakland. Bobby Cabral now up. Right-handed pitcher Francis Soto on in relief for Texas. We'll see if Cabral can come through with a runner in scoring, not in scoring position, but a runner on base. 2-2 count. And Cabral gives that one a ride to the fence. That's going to be extra bases for Cabral. And Cabral looking for 3 all the way. A big triple for Bobby Cabral. Ramos comes in to score, and the A's move ahead 3-1. So got a runner in scoring position now for Andy Toribio with just 1 out. We'll let Toribio swing away against Francis Soto. He grounds it to third. Third baseman checks the runner, makes the throw to first for the 2nd out of the inning. Sergio Estrada now up with a couple of outs. 1-0 count to Estrada. And it looks like that's going to be a pop-up to end the inning, barring a error, which we did not get. So another run for Oakland, thanks to the triple from Cabral, who's having a big first game of the year. So we head into the 6th inning, only 54 pitches from Jackson Ferris. So we'll see if we can get perhaps another inning out of him. Ferris going up against Mutsuritis. 0-2 count to Mutsuritis. And he strikes him out. Manjarres, the center fielder, number 9 hitter up. And he delivers the 2nd hit of the day for Texas, a clean single into left field. Going up against the left-handed hitter Riley Green now, but with a couple more righties after him. Could be the last opportunity of the day for the left-handed throwing Jackson Ferris. We'll see what he can do against Riley Green. Manjarres has decent speed, but he's not a particularly proficient base runner. We'll throw over there once just to try to keep him honest, but I'm not really... Ooh, we picked him off. Nice job by Ferris. So that certainly makes things a little bit potentially easier. Nice play by Ferris and Ramos to pick off Manjarres. 2 outs now to Riley Green. 2-1 count to Green. And he gives that one a ride to right field, but tracked down by Bonello just in front of the warning track. And although Texas did get their 2nd hit of the day, a 3-1 lead for Oakland as we head to the 7th. And the young catcher, Jaden Boakai, will be leading off here in the top of the 7th inning. 2-0 count to Boakai. And he grounds it down to the third baseman, who handles it without any help. Back to the top of the order for Luis Lara, 1-1 count. And Lara dumps a single into right field, so a good base runner on for us now. That's the first hit of the season for Mr. Lara. Elliot Bonello now up. We will let Bonello take a first pitch here. They are going to throw over, as we might have expected. And we're going to try running now. And Lara makes it into second base safe with his first stolen base of the season. So runner in scoring position with one out from Mr. Bonello as we try to extend our two-run lead here in the top of the seventh. Let Bonello swing away now. And he lines it right to first base for the second out of the inning. So the pressure now on the number 3 hitter, Jake Ortega, still hitless in the early going of this 2034 season. 1-1 count to Ortega with Lara at second. Ortega grounds it down to first, handled 3-1, and that is the end of the top of the 7th inning. Head to the 6th. Jackson Ferris has only thrown 62 pitches. Really nice outing, 2 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts, with a couple of right-handers and good right-handers in Marchand and Wyatt Langford coming up. We are going to make a call to the bullpen, our first call to the bullpen of this 2034 season. And we are going to go with Jeremy Scholl, the right-handed reliever, one of our key setup men, comes into the game. Nice performance today by Jackson Ferris in his first start after getting that 5-year extension with us, which will hopefully have him with Oakland through the prime of his career. We've got him set up for the W, just need 9 more outs, and could have this season off to a nice start in Oakland. Scholl going against Marchand. 1-2 count. And Jeremy Scholl with a strikeout of the first batter he's faced this season, the always dangerous Wyatt Langford, now up. 1-1 count to Mr. Langford. And he flies out to center field, and Mr. Lara for the second out of the inning. Left-handed hitting cleanup hitter Juan Molina now up. 2-2 count to Molina. And he grounds out to second base, 4-3, Estrada to Ramos. So a clean first inning of the season for Jeremy Scholl. Heading now to the top of the 8th, Oakland still holding on to a 3-1 lead, and once again our cleanup hitter is leading off an inning. A lot of outs made today by Jake Ortega with 2 outs. 0-1 count to Colt Keith, and he flies out to left for the first out of the inning. Brian Ramos now up. Full count to the first baseman, and Ramos flies out to center field for the second out of the inning. Bobby Cabral DHing for us today. 3-1 count to Cabral, who draws a walk. And that means the young shortstop, Andy Toribio, gets an opportunity here. Toribio swinging at the first pitch. Flies out to right field to end the inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on by virtue of the walk. We head to the bottom of the 8th with a 3-1 Oakland lead. And as we head to the bottom of the 8th, although Scholl had a nice inning for us, 3 up, 3 down, only threw 12 pitches. Since we're playing the game out, kind of want to see our newly constructed bullpen in its full glory. So we're going to go to another right-hander, Levi Sterling, see if he can get us through the 8th and possibly into the 9th. Sterling going against the right-handed hitting catcher King, the shortstop Ramirez, and the third baseman Ritter, unless Texas does some pinch hitting. 1-1 count to Kevin King. Oh, and the young shortstop Toribio boots that one. So first error of the season for Toribio. Hopefully that won't come back to haunt us. King is a speedy guy on at first base. You wouldn't normally expect to see that type of speed and base stealing proficiency from a catcher, but very interesting profile for the Texas catcher. We are going to go throw over to first to try to keep King honest. And we're facing a pinch hitter, our old buddy Tyler Soderstrom with the Texas Rangers organization. We are going to pitch out here. They're not running, so a 1-0 count to Soderstrom. I'm going to throw over to first again. Try to keep King close, and now we are going to go right after Soderstrom. And Soderstrom flies out to center field. King unable to tag up as the play's right in front of him. So one away, Sterling now going against Ryan Ritter. We'll go ahead and throw over once to try to keep King close. And now go after Ritter. Ritter crushes that one. And the game is all tied up. A 2-run home run to left field by Ryan Ritter, and our new stopper has not done the job well today, certainly not helped by the error by Toribio, but Ferris's hope for an opening day victory for his record are out at this point. Sterling still has only gotten one out. Still a couple of righties that'll be facing. He's only thrown 6 pitches. See if he can get out of this inning. Mutsuritis with a full count. And he singles right up the middle. So pretty poor results thus far from Levi Sterling this inning. Sergio Manjarres grounds it to first. 1-3 for the second out of the inning, although Mutsuritis goes to first, or goes to second. Sterling now going up against the left-handed leadoff hitter, designated hitter Riley Green. 2-2 count to Riley Green. And looks like another potential error there. Not sure how they're going to score that. Now they're calling it an RBI single for Riley Green. So the wheels have definitely come off for Oakland here in the bottom of the 8th. 3 runs for Texas as they take the lead against our alleged stopper, Levi Sterling. We'll have him throw to first, try to keep this as a 1-run game. Going after Marchand. And mercifully, he flies out to right to end this bottom of the 8th inning. But the world champion Rangers show why they are the defending world champions. Scratching for 3 runs to take the lead. And now we are going up against their closer, Emmanuel Clase, who was a free agent this past offseason. We've got 8-9-1 potentially coming up. We'll let the switch hitter Sergio Estrada, the left-handed batter, face off and lead things off against Clase. Certainly could be going to the bullpen or going to the bench for the young catcher. And Estrada comes through with a leadoff single, so a positive result there for Mr. Estrada to get things started. Jaden Boakai, the catcher, the right-handed hitter against the right-handed pitching Class A. We don't necessarily have any great options on the bench. Our other catcher is the switch hitter Chris Laughlin, who just joined us this year. I believe Laughlin's actually a little bit better against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. Yeah, his gap power a bit better against lefties than righties, so don't know that he is really a natural guy to be pinch hitting with. Could go with the two-way player R.J. Cope. He is a strikeout machine, and he struggles to make contact in terms of his ratings. But he is a guy who can certainly hit the ball out of the ballpark. He only got, I believe, 2 at-bats for us a year ago in the majors as a potential two-way player. Now, he wasn't set up as a two-way guy for the entire year, but since I'm playing out this game, I'm going to try to have some fun with it. We are going to give R.J. Cope the 3rd at-bat of his major league career. He is a guy who can hit the ball out of the park. He's also a guy who can strike out. The left-handed batting reliever, R.J. Cope, going up against Class A, a 3-0 count. And Cope draws the walk, so runners on first and second, nobody out. And Luis Lara now up. We will let Lara swing away, a 3-1 count to Lara. And that was a very poor result for us, a 4-6-3 double play. Estrada with the potential tying run goes to 3rd, but we are now down to our last out in the form of the left-handed hitting Elliot Bonello, who is making his Oakland debut today, and this would be a great time for the first hit of his Oakland career. 2-2 count to Bonello. He grounds it to short, and the play is made 6-3. So after a really nice start to the game for Oakland, a couple of home runs in the second inning, had another run in the 6th on the triple by Bobby Cabral, things kind of fell apart for Oakland in the bottom of the 8th there. And we are opening day losers, 4-3 on the road against the defending World Series champions. I can see a real wide swing there towards the end of the game in the win probabilities. Then when we had 2 batters on with nobody out, things were looking good before Lara hit into that big double play for us. A couple of hits from both Colt Keith and Bobby Cabral, who each had the home runs for us as well. Toribio, Estrada, Boakai, and Lara with the other hits for the Oakland A's. Only 5 hits on the day for Texas, but the unearned runs helped by the error by Toribio certainly cost us. Really nice performance by Ferris, as we talked about. Scholl pitched a perfect inning for us, but 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned by Levi Sterling, who blows the save and earns the loss in his first action of the season. Jackson Ferris named the player of the game for us in a losing effort here on opening day. So a disappointing result on opening day for the Oakland A's, who were hoping to show the Rangers that we would be a bigger threat to their division title hopes this season than we were a year ago, when we ended up finishing 9 games behind them and then losing to them in the ALDS. But unfortunately, they scored those 3 runs in the 8th, and we are 4-3 losers. Before we finish off this relatively quick episode, just we'll take a quick look for those who are interested in our minor league system. As of the start of the season, we rank 8th out of 30, so that's definitely been some progress. Arturo Uresti, the young right fielder, and Jorge Orellana, a international amateur free agent from last year, our 2 top 50 prospects that we have. We also have 3 other prospects in the top 100. Shiloh Solis, who will be starting the year in A-ball. Alejandro Landin, who's injured, but will likely be playing in AAA before bringing him up to the majors, likely at some point this year. And then Eric Wilcox, last year's first-round draft choice, who will be in rookie ball for a full year this season. So some pretty high-end prospects there. And then we also have 4 more guys who are ranked between 101 and 200. Starting pitcher Matt Perry, infielder Steve Allison and Luis Coronado, and then the outfielder Joe Harmon, and the infielder Otavio Soles, who is with our DSL squad, but hopefully will be earning a promotion to A-ball in the not-too-distant future. And we'll take quick looks at team chemistry and cohesion among the coaching staff before we really finish up the episode. Team chemistry could be a little more risky this year. We knew we were dealing with an outspoken player when we brought Mike Lambert on board. Still liked some of his personality traits and thought he could be a potentially important pitcher for us for many years to come. Sam Hoover, who, as we talked about, probably has the most tenuous roster spot on the entire team, also has a selfish personality. So unless he is really effective for us as a left-handed arm out of the bullpen, he may have a relatively short time with us in Oakland. Still think that we've got a pretty good clubhouse. Jason DeCaro, the pitcher, is a captain. We've got 3 leaders and a couple of spark plugs as well. And overall team chemistry is happy in these very early stages of the season. Taking a look at our coaching staff, where we do have a new pitching coach this year, having promoted Dave Bush from AAA. Staff cohesion is happy at this point. We've got some excellent teaching going on across our organization at the major league level, driven by our third and first base coaches, who are really good at teaching defensive skills as well as how to run. Our hitting coach, Ben Johnson, outstanding at teaching hitting, outstanding at development, excellent with mechanics. And the new pitching coach, Dave Bush, excellent at teaching pitching, good with development and mechanics. Bench coach, Ruben Lardizabal, outstanding with development and good with mechanics. And last but certainly not least, manager Kip Wells is legendary with development, excellent with mechanics, and he's also got good relationships with the team, although those relationships, as we saw earlier with the pitchers DeCaro, DeVore, and Hoover, are not perfect. And next time around, we will really get moving with this 2034 season. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.